everyone and welcome to the YuGiOh channel. It's Peanut here again and I'm bringing you another deck profile today. And today we are doing Zombie Synchro Lightsworn. Now, as you can probably tell, there's a common pattern emerging amongst our videos. I do quite like synchro decks. This one in particular is a lot of fun to play and really potent as well. I probably played about 40 or 50 games with this deck and lost just 3 against really strong things as well. One Magic Spectre, one Blue Eyes, one Tzolk'in Hieratic. And yeah, generally the results are really good with the deck. What I will say, there are loads of potential combos and card choices for this deck in particular, so you're not locked down or restricted to exactly what's in this list. However, I would recommend that you give it a try. What we're going to do today then, we're going to go through the card list fairly briefly. I'm going to got some gameplays to show you afterwards as well, which I would encourage you to watch. They're not long games and it does really display the power of the deck. Yeah, you can see what you think after that. What I will say first of all, guys, if you do like our video, please give us a like, and also if you do like the videos and the content we put out on the channel here, consider subscribing to us, and you can do that either by clicking the subscribe button below the video or waiting and clicking the YuGiOh circle at the end of the video for us. This just ensures we can keep bringing you more deck profiles, more videos. It's more encouragement from you guys to us to keep bringing you content and other great videos, more information, all that sort of stuff. So without further ado then, guys, we're just going to crack on with the deck list. So we're playing 3 Brilliant Fusion first of all. This helps go into Seraph Knight, get your extra normal summon, dump some cards in the graveyard as well. So Seraph Knight is a Gem Knight monster and a light monster, so as you can see, play quite a few light targets. Double charge the Light Brigade, just to switch the Lightsworns out your deck, such as Lumina, Wolf if you want to. You hardly ever want to search Wolf. Primarily it'll be Raiden that you'll go for. 1 Foolish Burial, some graveyard dump there, 2 Instant Fusion. Now we're only playing Norden as an Instant Fusion target, however we're playing Daigos to Emerald, so we can shuffle it back. Also Omega can put it back as well, and you do just want to draw into it on as many occasions as possible. I think 3 is a little overkill for this build. 1 for 1, as you can see, we're playing multiple level 1s. Getting to them quite easily is a priority, so good card there. Raigeki is in here as well, bit of board clearance for you. If there's troublesome monsters on the field that can be destroyed, Raigeki is always going to help. We play 1 Reasoning. As you can see, we're playing multiple monsters that are of different levels. There are quite a few 4s in here, but Reasoning does help just to get a bit more board presence. Because we've got Search in the deck as well, I'm playing 3 Solar Recharge. So dumping cards into the graveyard with this deck is not a catastrophe by a long measure. A lot of the effects can be activated in the graveyard. So obviously discard Lightsworn once to draw 2 cards and then send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So building up a graveyard, getting Level Eater in your grave, Dandelion, Gloat Bulb, all that sort of stuff will be beneficial. As well as milling Wolf as well, because that's get a special summon to the field. We're playing 1 Soul Charge. So Soul Charge for this deck can be a game changer. As you can see, this is primarily a synchro deck, so you can either use tuners and non-tuners in your graveyard that you bring back with Soul Charge to make synchros and make a big play to sort of lock your opponent down a bit, or you can bring back synchros that have been destroyed previously and make bigger plays that way too. Soul Charge is a game changer for this, especially late game. We're playing 3 Twin Twister because you don't really want to run into many back row. When you're making your plays to make a move on your opponent, you want to make sure that they can't stop you, because there are pivotal points which will make you lose quite a lot of advantage and momentum. So trying to keep back row off your opponent's field is a priority here. Playing 2 Brilliant Fusion targets for the Gem Knights, so we're playing 1 Garnet and 1 Lazuli. When Lazuli is sent to the graveyard by card effect, you can target 1 normal monster in your graveyard and add that to your hand. So if you sent Garnet for some reason already, and then you send Lazuli, you can add the Garnet back to your hand, which can be quite helpful. Just extra discard fodder. This deck discards quite a lot for a number of effects, so that's quite helpful. Dandelion, so when it's sent to the graveyard for anything at all, special summon 2 fluff tokens, plant type level 1, 0 attack, 0 defense in defense position, and they can't be used for a tribute summon during the turn they're special summoned. But primarily you will synchro with the tokens that you bring for that. Let's see what it's there. One glow up bulb. So a level 1 tuner, when it's in your graveyard, you can send the top card of your deck to your graveyard, special summon it. Jet Synchron is another one you can special summon from your graveyard. You don't need the Synchron searching effect with Jet in this deck, so if it's in your graveyard, you can discard. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card, but you banish it when it leaves the field. But because we're playing Cypher Lord Omega, we can put that in your opponent's standby phase. If there's the face up on the field, you can put that card from your banished pile back into your graveyard, so you can use the effect again next turn if you wish. Level Eater. I'm using 3 Level Eaters because it's just that absolute monster in this deck. So if it's in your graveyard, you can target a level 5 or higher monster you control, reduce its level by 1, and if you do, special summon this card. And this card face up on the field cannot be tributed except for a tribute summon. So Level Eater is fantastic in the way that it helps you get into your synchro plays, it helps you reduce levels of certain synchro monsters if you want to go for Quasar or something like that. Absolutely fantastic card. 2 Lila Lightsworn Sorceress. So you can search this out, obviously with Charge of the Light Brigade. You can target 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls. You change the battle position of this card to defense position and then destroy that spell or trap card. And then this card cannot change its battle position back to attack position until not your next turn but the turn after, but usually you'll synchro with it or it'll be destroyed before then, and during each of your end phases send the top 3 cards of your deck to your graveyard. So again, helps you get some graveyard dump, a bit more spell and trap destruction. Don't see Lila used all that much these days, but it is good as a preempt sometimes, just going in and blowing up a back row from your opponent. It can bait out some reactions. The amount of solemn strikes I've baited out with this and warnings is just unreal. Mizuki. So 3 Mizuki, so you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 zombie type monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. So that's for uni-zombie or zombie master. And obviously from banished pile, Cypher Lord Omega can put it back into your graveyard. Performance Trick Clown, so I'll send this with Brilliant Fusion quite a lot of the time. So if this card's sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 performance monster in your graveyard, including itself, special summon it, its attack and defense become a 0, and then you take 1000 damage. You can only use this effect of Performance Trick Clown once per turn. So with Trick Clown then, I'll generally send this with Brilliant Fusion, use this effect to bring it back and lose 1000 life points, and then go into my synchro plays from there. Or even XYZ plays. So if you use the effect once and then you make Diagust to Emerald with that and another 4, I'll detach the other 4 to use the effect first, and then in my next turn, if Emerald's still there, I'll detach the Trick Clown, use the effect, and then use the Trick Clown effect to bring it back again, which is great. And then other monsters, we're playing 3 Raiden. So this is a level 4 tuner. It's a warrior. I'm not playing Rota because I want to play Regeki instead. So during your main phase you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard. If any were Lightsworn monsters, this card gains 200 attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. You can only use this effect of Raiden, handle Lightsworn once per turn, and during your end phase send the top 2 cards of your deck to your graveyard. So it's a level 4 tuner, helps with your level 8s and stuff to get into level 5 synchros, or even the bigger ones, along with some of your other level 4 monsters. Playing 1 Recover. So if this card's in your graveyard and your opponent has 5 or more cards in their extra deck than you do, you can pay 2000 life points and special summon this card, banish it when it leaves the field. And you can only use the effect of Recover once per turn. So Recover is great in the fact of you do synchro a lot with this deck. If your opponent's got a full extra deck, a lot of the longer games you will utilise and use this. It's not hard at all. Uni-zombie a lot of the time is for setup plays, so you can target 1 face-up monster on the field, discard 1 card, and if you do increase that target's level by 1, and then you can target 1 face-up monster on the field. Monsters you control cannot attack for the rest of the turn except zombie type monsters. Also send 1 zombie type monster from your deck to your graveyard, and if you do increase that target's level by 1. You can only use the effect of uni-zombie once per turn. So what I'll usually do, I'll either use this on if someone makes me go first, I'll use it to set up. Which obviously you can't attack anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But in turns when I do want to attack my opponent, a lot of the time I'll attack them, and then I'll use the second effect in main phase 2. If I want to go for like an Omega for my opponent's turn or something like that. Yeah, really helpful. 1 Wolf, so when it's sent from the deck to the graveyard, by any means you can special summon it to your side of the field. More synchro fodder. And Zombie Master. So you can send one monster from your hand to the graveyard, target one level 4 or lower zombie type monster in either player's graveyard, special summon that target, and this card must be faced upon the field to activate and resolve this effect. So again, you can use it to bring back Mizuki if you wish. You can use it to bring back uni-zombie and then level uni-zombie up and go into a level 8 synchro. Really helpful like that. The one thing that is a shame about this deck, which I will say, is that on this game at the minute, Shiran Yui Solitaire is not on the game. Which is a shame, because you can attribute that to just get uni-zombie straight out of the deck, which makes it flow and it makes it a little bit quicker. However, this deck is absolutely fantastic the way it is. It does work really well. Extra deck then, we're just going to speed through this. 1 Elder Entity Norden, instant fusion target. 1 Gem Knight Seraph Knight, brilliant fusion target there. 1 Axel Synchron, helps dump Jet into your grave. 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon lets you get an extra normal summon if you need it, but a lot of the time I do this, just level 8 of this down into a 5 and synchro for Quasar with it. 1 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, you can make this so easily in this deck, negates monster effects, absolutely fantastic. 2 Formula Synchron, just help you draw 3 cards. 2 Cyframe Lord Omega, so this is probably the primary synchro target in this deck most of the time, so it's because it can float, so in either player's main phase you can banish it to banish a card from your opponent's hand until your next standby phase. So this is a quick effect as well, so it can be activated reactively. So if someone Raigekis you and they've got a card in the hand to target, you can banish this card, banish a card from the hand, and then it's safe until next turn. And then also during your opponent's standby phase you can target 1 banished card and then put it back into the graveyard. That's either players as well. 1 Shooting Quasar Dragon, you can go into Quasar with this deck. I will put a disclaimer on the fact that Axel is a tuner, so you can't use Axel, Librarian and Formula. However, there are a number of combinations you can do. So how I do it most frequently is I will go Librarian, Charge Warrior, Formula Synchron, then level 8 of the Charge Warrior down into a level 5, then go into Quasar. It is really easy. Charge Warrior, just a little bit more draw power. I do just use this for the draw effect. Coral Dragon's not in this game either, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Charge Warrior is good. Hyper Librarian, pretty much the heart and soul of keeping your advantage when you're synchro playing. So yeah, absolutely love this card. Next one is Tatsunoko. So a synchro summon monster. So if this synchro summon monster will be used as a synchro material, you can use 1 monster in your hand as one of the other synchro materials for that monster, for that synchro monster, which is good because it comes in handy quite a lot of the time. Trishula Dragon of the Ice Barrier, non-targeted removal, absolutely fantastic card. Things that can't be destroyed, everything like that, really helps. And 1 Dagger Emerald. So I go into this quite frequently. It is really easy to get into this card, and mostly I use it for shuffling back my brilliant fusion targets or synchro monsters that have been destroyed that I want to make again. So absolutely great for anything like that. So yeah, that's the deck then, guys. I would encourage you just to post any suggestions or any thoughts you've got in the comment section below. We're always more than happy to hear from you with any of your feedback. I'm going to get into the games for you in a moment. And remember, if you do like our video, then like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. And I hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you next time, guys. Peace. Being it out.
Hone your skills. Boy, you in the danger room.